We are live.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you, Shireen, for telling me we are live. I appreciate it. Hello everyone. A warm welcome, whether you're joining us in the morning or afternoon or evening. A warm greetings to you. I am Simi Balani, joining you live from Bangalore, representing CCE as Chief Operating Officer and Pedagogical Expert. Always a pleasure, always with a lot of butterflies when I'm hosting one of the webinars, even though I'm not the speaker. But yes, that's how I always start. And I was wondering, how do I start this webinar? So I said, let me go to my friend. I call him my friend, my chat GPT. And I said, what a better way to start a webinar by asking him, how should I open my webinar? And give me some humorous. He gave me 4 options. And I went, oh God, I am an aspirant of SCL. And how much does it take to talk about or open when we are talking about leadership in the world of AI? Because while AI is doing everything, and sometimes it is our best companions at the wee hours of night, but it takes human touch, the social connection for us humans to get going. So, on this note, I welcome each one of you. We have participants this time joining us from many different countries because we have speakers from many different countries, Mexico, Indonesia, India, and such a pleasure to be here. And from Finland, of course, the entire team and our session chair. So a pleasure to be here. The topic of today is very important. It is like the time when the computers came in and everybody said, no, I don't want this. It's not going to happen in my office. We are not going to do this, but it was the reality. The same is with AI. It is here to stay. Now, we as educators have a lot of responsibilities. Sometimes the students in our classrooms are going to know more than what we know. It is our responsibility. How do we make best of the knowledge they already have? And how do we also guide them? But the most important thing is nurturing, which only a human can do to another human. And one of the main important thing is the factor of empathy that AI cannot do, the factor of respect, and so many other things, leadership, mentorship. So we will talk about a lot of these things with our passionate speakers. And I welcome each one of you, whoever is joining here. And thank you for your time, because time today is a biggest currency. And we hope that you make the best of next 60 minutes to 90 minutes that you're with us. At this note, I welcome everyone, all our guest speakers. They will introduce themselves as and when they are speaking. And to my backend team of CCE, thank you very much to all our subscribers. We are live on YouTube. So please share these links with your families, friends to have them join the session live. And at this note, I welcome our session chair, Mr. Hiram Kulkarni, who's the strategy director with CCE and our expert in AI, to open this session. Over to you, Hiram. The floor is yours.
Yes, thanks, Simran. And on behalf of CC entire team, I would like to again welcome all the visitors who are watching us live from different social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, those who are constantly supporting us and making this dialogue a great, uh, cherishable experience for learning for everyone. So my name is Hiram Kulkarni. I'm a director at the Council for Creative Education here in Finland, based in Helsinki, along with my other colleagues. And it's a great to have all experts in the field of education and those who are using AI or those who will be using their teams to this AI and those who are leading different teams. So along with me, we have experts who are school principals, researcher in the field of education, those who are heading some of the consulting firms, as well as a kind of team players with us. So to make the best use of this expertise, I will start a broad picture of what is happening, and I would like to put this entire conference or seminar not towards the citing the problems, but more towards taking to the solution instead of just citing the problems, because there are many conferences where we talk about problems. I think it's better to discuss on the challenges but also on the solutions more. So just recently, as a background, I would like to put one simple anecdote which I just present during the conference in Barcelona. Just from 2 days back, there was a very great conference in Barcelona called Barcelona Educational Conference BCE. And this conference focused on the overall AI readiness in the teachers. So my keynote address, so let's say my presentation over there was on this teacher readiness. And I'm going to give a brief area where the leaderships comes into the picture. Leadership is where the leadership needs to take the decisions where to invest, how to take the things forward, but more importantly, how to prioritize. Now, prioritization is a very difficult task in the current world. Even though AI is there to help you out to get the data analyzed, but still it takes human touch to prioritize the things in the context of education, because it's a human-centered thing and it requires a lot of empathy, as well as it requires a great vision. So in the AI world, the educational changes are huge. Enhancing the teacher efficiency is a must-have requirement nowadays, and curricula significantly relies on how the teachers are ready for these changes. So unless and until we have teachers readiness connected for that, so leaders should get ready to make their team ready for that. So teachers readiness is a critical aspect of that. So we decided to have a research work which has been done for last 2 years now. We are conducting this research on TPAC framework, which is the original framework for education technology, which has been integrated into the AI TPAC extension. And we had opportunity to work with the researchers from the School of Education from China, Spain, and as well as in Finland here. And we collaborated together to come up with this AI TPAC model, and we took the same model, and it gives us the how the AI knowledge is being dissipated with the teachers with the confidence and adaptability. I'm not going to go in details of the content, but I want to tell you two important observations which came across this part. So how does this look like? Every teacher needs to have this basic three important knowledge segments: content knowledge, which is a subject knowledge; pedagogical knowledge is how to teach that subject; and third is a technological knowledge, which is now been extended toward the AI literacy. So this AI TK. So these three concentric circles are important, and we have to find a balance. But as a leader, we have to find where to prioritize our future teachers. To make this part, we conducted a survey across various nationalities and cultures, but this focused is based on the profiling of the teachers using the tools in the school, as well as application of AI in the teaching. So with this information, we started analyzing it, and then we found something really interesting. Point number one, the teachers' readiness factors are not with the infrastructure, but more they depend on the bottom line of the confidence, like lack of self-efficacy of the AI tools. We found that even though some schools have less infrastructure, less quality infrastructure, but if they have more self-efficacy, they outperform the other schools, other organizations. This is a major important part. So this gives a kind of a hint for the management and leadership where to invest. Second, professional development is the second important factor. Third important factor is the attitude. Many of the teachers are skeptical towards adopting in the teaching context, and that gives a lot of challenge. And last one, obviously, the infrastructure plays an important role, but that's not the primary one. This is the observation from this initial data connecting for that. Based on that, we decided to create the profiles of the teachers. So if the teacher's readiness is a critical part, how we can be able to create the profiles and how we can be able to find out which teachers we should concentrate on, because if we have 100 teachers in the organization, it's not possible that all 100 will be qualified and they can be able to be in the same league for developing. So we decided to put the two important aspects here. First is a technological knowledge on the x-axis, and on the y-axis we have pedagogical knowledge and content knowledge, combination of that. Actually this is a three-dimensional figure, but for sake of simplicity I'm just combining PK and CK together. What does this show? We have those who are having good pedagogical knowledge and also AITK, they are into the innovators part, they are already doing good, but the numbers are quite less. Still we are gearing toward this block on the top right corner. Most of the times what we are right now see, which covers almost 42% of the participants in the survey, they are good in their individual content knowledge as well as pedagogical knowledge, but they are not yet confident about various tools. They are afraid or they are fearsome about this part, so they are cautious explorers. They may use new pedagogical interventions, but they are not into the getting into the exploration for that. But most of other number is coming from this bottom left corner, which is a hesitant traditionalist, which are more they are afraid of using new technologies, but also they are not experimenting with new pedagogical methods as well. But interesting part, which is the fourth quadrant here, which is emerging coach, where the some teachers have less content knowledge, or they may not have all content knowledge for all subjects. But when it comes to the integration of the subjects, when you have to integrate two or more subjects together to create the learning experience, these are the emerging coach really works well, because they have more of integration of AI tools, so they can be able to provide more autonomy to the students so that they can explore the work on their own. This was the major startling revelations out of this entire work, and yesterday we presented it. I think this is a direction in which the leadership should think, that what will be the challenges of schools in the AI world. We can't have all in one, so we can't have the cake and eat it too. So the only option is to how we can be able to solve our problems in an innovative way. So this is a basic point I would like to put forward, and maybe our speakers will put specific lights on this from the respective part. Thank you very much, Simran, and I will hand over back to you.
Thanks so much, Hiram, and thank you for sharing all this data, because at this stage of where we are just getting started with AI a year or so back, this data really throws a lot of light on where the work is required. So thank you very much, Hiram, for this. And again, for the participants who are still joining us, a warm welcome. We are getting started with our first speaker, Mr. Varun. Mr. Varun, kindly introduce yourself and then please share your slides. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much, CC team, for having me here. I mean, you talk about the butterflies, and now you have shifted butterflies to this part of the country. Thank you so much for this, and welcome everybody. I am Varun Bharti. I represent YS Group. We are in the field of education. We have schools and colleges, and for last 45 years. And today, let me try to share what I believe education would look like. So, YS Group, we are imparting education for more than 45 years. I believe I'm. You can see my screen. I hope so. Is it visible?
Yes, we can
Yes.
see. Yes.
Thank you so much. I think in these 45 years, this education leadership, be it at YS Group or be it throughout the world, we have seen lots of change. Earlier, it was more about reading and writing. It was assembly line, we all know it. And what we require was memorization of some data, some facts, which we call as rote learning. And then eventually as we got the artificial storage devices and we got the chip and semiconductors, then the onus of remembering the things moved from human to those chips. And then we came with the Bloom's taxonomy, which was more about you see, uh, Bloom's taxonomy was more about analysis. It's about knowing the things. It's about synthesis. And I think it would be quite interesting to see that what education would look like in coming time. To start with, I'll talk about this, that again, this is given by AI, that by 2030, 65% of the students will work in the jobs that don't exist yet. And I believe AI has been quite conservative here, where it talked about only 65%, because in my opinion, almost everybody who will be working in the future, perhaps they may not know how the things would fold in next 5 years or in next 10 years. Edwin Toffler, a very good market head, he talked about learn, unlearn, and relearn. And interestingly, he talked this in 1970s, and today we are talking in 2025. You see, the only difference is that in 1970 till date, this learn, unlearn, relearn was just a desire. It wasn't a need. But I think with the advent of technology, now this unlearning and relearning would be the need. The good part over here is that for any kind of schools or colleges, now we will not be just focusing on the age group of say 3 to 14 years or 3 to 18 years. We'll be able to focus on the whole humanity, on the whole world. Anybody who may be of any age, any stage, I mean, will have an option, we will have an opportunity to teach that person. Uh, a bitter part of, I'll say, always education is that you see one of the prime ministers, one of the presidents talking about that he has solved the 7 wars in this era, which means that despite the fact that we have so much of education, we have PhDs, we have doctors, we have everybody, but still humanity stands in peace rather than in peace. I think this is one part that I genuinely wanted to bring to all the educationists and everybody who is watching this video. We at Pioneers, we believe that education is about 3D concept, 3 dimension, as my previous speaker talked about, where for us, length is about academics. So academics is about knowing the facts. Breadth is about uh, the skills, and skills are more about that do you maybe confidence, maybe communication skills, maybe sports, everything comes under the skills. And then comes the height. And what is height? Height is about values. So I think gone are the days when education used to be just academics. I think now education needs to be everything. Education needs to be all 3 parts. It has to be academics, it has to be skills, and it has to be the third part, which is the values. Uh, I mean, I have seen many US universities and other universities that say that, Chat GPT, nowadays students solve their assignments through Chat GPT, they solve their assignments through AI. But the question is that, are we only limiting ourselves to few questions and answers? Is that the only purpose of education? Or as they say that, if can't we ask the questions? Can't we ask them the assignments? Can't we give them the assignments based on real life projects? Say, even if it is Pythagoras theorem. So rather than giving them length and breadth or 2 sides of the triangle, idea would be to give them the real-time applications and real-time assignments. I think this is something that will have to change the way we assess our students, and which would be quite interesting. Uh, Now, from interest factor, would like to bring your attention to this imaging part. I mean, again, this is one very interesting kind of a thing. So we teach history to the students, we teach all those kinds of facts to the student. And imagine a world where Napoleon, Gandhi, or Einstein, they talk to the students in real time. I think that's what AI is going to do in future. And to me, as an educationist, we look forward to it. And again, I say that this is something new that we'll be doing. We have our younger children, our kindergartens, who talk to lion or elephant or even cloud. But I don't know, something happens when they grow up. Then we move from those imaginations to pure textbook. It is time that we change this. And I think AI uh, in education would help us in the best possible way. This is another thing which I believe would AI would bring as far as teachers are concerned. Currently, one teacher goes to the class and the teacher he teaches to so many students. I think AI with BYOD, bring your own device, it would change from one to many to one to one, where every single child will get the kind of learning that he requires. Now, in terms of learning, let's assume that there are kids who are in a swimming class, even if these are 12-year-old kid. Now, is it possible that all those kids would be at the same level? I don't think so. There would be somebody who will be just learn to swim. There would be another student who will be very good at swimming. Then why not in mathematics? Why not in English? Why not in other subjects? I think this is something that education will see with the advent of AI, that the teaching will happen one to one. And secondly, hopefully that will have the more interesting classrooms, will have better classrooms. I think just a couple of minutes, people were talking and we were saying that, we are from different parts of the world. Somebody says that, English is my first language. Somebody says that I'm not very comfortable in English. Think of a scenario where we don't even need to talk about these things. We all speak our own language. Still, we get to understand each other. I think that's what AI will going to do for us in a very positive way. Again, if we talk about the teachers, then practically this is what we see in the school, that teachers spend 40% of the time in their non-core activities, about notebook checking, about analysis of test, about analysis of their marks, and so on and so forth. I think with help of all these kinds of tools, with the help of AI, with the help of technology, I would like to see the world where teachers focus only on teaching learning process. And that's something that we look forward to. Again, from testing, if we talk about the testing part, currently in most of part of the world, we have the standardized testing. I think with AI, we'll have adaptive testing models. It would be more like gamification, where different students would be on different levels of that particular game. Right now, they are being taught as per their age, not as per their interest, not as per their caliber, not as per, that is what we talk about inclusive education. But I think with AI, we are looking forward to this world that everybody will be taught where he or she stands. Finally, there were times when people were of jack of all trades, but then came the time when we were told that you got to be master in one subject. You got to be very good engineer, or you got to be very good in finances, or you got to be very good in, say, as a medical person. I believe that with all these kinds of technologies, with tools, we again would need the journalist rather than the specialist. This is something that we can think, we can discuss, we can talk about it. But I believe that we need the people who would know the basics of everything rather than one thing about rather than everything about one particular thing. Uh, Good part about AI is one, as I discussed about the gamification, from Chat GPT to Think GPT, where we'll have the productive resistance. Now, what is productive resistance? Productive resistance is like, again, a particular barrier that Chat GPT just gives the answer. But Think GPT, in my opinion, wouldn't just give the answers, but would give a basic level of challenge, and then will slowly and steadily will increase that challenge. That to me will happen with the help of AI. You see the global access. Now we all are from different parts of the world, but to understand this particular presentation, all we need is English, because I'm speaking English. You think of a scenario where it would be language-free classrooms, language-free world. And interestingly, we won't even have a one common language. Everybody will have its own language, but still we would be able to understand each other. It would be borderless classrooms, it would be language-free classrooms, and perhaps that's our future generation needs. And if we talk about data-driven decisions, that's exactly what we talked about. That will be able to assess better. And as they say that the better you assess, the better we'll be able to drive to the next world. I mean, better we'll be able to do. Uh, Again, one more slide, and I think to me this is very interesting. So it's about the languages. So currently, languages is all about correcting, but I think from that we'll move from correction to connecting. That's how languages will play the role in future. We'll be able to connect with each other despite the fact that this is my first language, my second language, my third language. Doesn't matter, and it shouldn't matter. because language initially was always designed, developed so that we may communicate with each other. And maybe with the help of AI, we would be able to communicate with each other seamlessly without any language barriers. Say, let's talk about one more example, say social sciences. In history, we were taught that what has happened. I believe the world should move from history to future history. Now, what is future history? Not just about what has happened, but what can happen, what can take place. That is to be taught to the students. We first had barter system. From barter system, we moved to coins. From coins, we moved to currency notes. From there, we moved to digital currency, from where we move to cryptocurrency. And the questions that we need to ask, maybe with the help of AI, or maybe students will collaborate with AI, or they'll ask from AI, what would happen after 20 years? What would happen after 50 years? Maybe we don't need even currency. We don't need any kind of barter system. Who knows? I think these are the things what we actually need from our future generations. And I believe that AI is here to solve all these kinds of problems. Let's talk about science, from laws to real world applications, even mathematics, from formulas to creative problem solving. Eventually, what we are trying to say is that whatever we are teaching the students in 10 years, that length that I talked about, that is academics, now the same can be achieved in lesser time, say in 5 years, in 2 years, in 3 years, we don't know, but not in 10 years, which means that we have increased the speed, we have increased the velocity or to cover that length. And what would we do with the rest of the time? I believe rest of the time, our teachers need to focus on the values. Teachers need to focus, our schools need to focus on the skills. That's what we require the students of future, so that we may not be in the pieces, but we may be in the piece. And it can only be done when we may focus a little bit more on their value part, on human part, on compassion part. And for that also, a teacher, a school needs time. So which means now if we'll be able to cover the length in lesser time, we'll have more time to cover the breadth and to cover the height. And overall, we'll have the bigger volume and the students would be the better learners. A few cautious part, certainly, as they say that AI isn't a teacher, it's a co-pilot, but it should never turn into autopilot. I think there are few things that which may be at the borderline, and as an educationist, as a leader, we must take those things into consideration. Higher education is one more thing. I mean, many people, they go to other countries to get this higher education just because they have better universities, but because they have better professors, because education could not come to them. So students used to go to those universities. And no more with AI. I think even now with open, this models and all those kinds of things, this all those education has come to those who are actually who want to receive that education sitting at their homes. And this is one more thing which AI would do. Third is the dark patterns. Certainly, this is one of the AI terms where systems, it focuses on the flattery and it consumes the time without any purpose. But then everything has its negative part, and that's where we need to be cautious and we need to check that out. We need to work on it. Finally, I would say that education must lead humans into peace and certainly not into pieces. And so we need to focus more as an educationist, we need to focus more on skills, more on values rather than pure academics. We must outsource a part of academics to AI so that our students can learn better, our students can learn interestingly, and our students can learn faster. With this, I rest my case.
Thank you very much, Mr. Varun. And thank you for this insightful presentation. And I really like the point that you're freeing up the time, and like swimming, if it is measured to where they are, why can't that be with math? And then we actually are doing justice to the diverse learners that we promise that we will do. So thank you very much, Mr. Varun, for this great presentation. We will move to Hiram to sum up the session, and if there are any questions. Thank you. Over to you, Hiram.
I think the presentation was well covered. There is a one good comment actually, and I think it is good to understand the fabric of the students' requirements. You have a good number of students, and you are working on the ground. So question is coming on our social media channel is that, can you tell what kind of students usage of AI tools is in the classroom and how the school is taking care of that. Is there any statistics or numbers you have in mind or you can share with others? Specific to your school is sufficient.
Right, right. I believe it's too early because as far as AI is concerned, it is still not regulated. Unless until it is regulated, it is given by the government as a go-ahead. We legally we cannot allow it to be used as a part of classrooms. I think we need those kinds of things. We for sure want that there must be AI, but then there must be a regulated AI. And we are waiting for the governments for those kinds of approvals. And we are waiting for the companies to bring such kind of models, which would be specific to do with AI and that too in education.
Okay. No, actually, I'm not asking from the school perspective. I'm asking from the student perspective because students have all tools at their disposal right now. They are
Right.
using AI even if the school wish or doesn't wish. So, do you have this kind of feedback that is getting from the parents that the usage of the tools by the students?
Certainly, certainly. This is something that we can't ignore. I mean, students across the globe, they are using AI. And I believe they have all the rights to use AI. Even I believe 50% of my presentation would be from AI. And as Ma'am Simi has said, I mean, we all use AI. I mean, let's be very realistic about it. Now, the question is that can we change the way we ask the questions? If we'll keep on asking the questions in the same format as we used to ask 20 years back or 50 years back, now AI would have the short solution. I think it's time to work on the teachers. It's time to work on the pedagogy and the way teachers ask the questions rather than how students answer the questions. If we want to change that, then students will not. They'll use AI and they'll get the answers without understanding the basics of those particular concepts, and which
Thank
is
you.
happening across the globe.
Yes. Yes. Very well said. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
Simran,
you
please
very much
continue.
once
Yes.
again, Hiram, and thank you very much, Mr. Varun. And now we move on to our next guest speaker, Mr. Sam. Me and Sam spoke a lot about education and changes in education and being in Southeast Asia during our time in Prague Summer School. So welcome, Mr. Sam. Please introduce yourself. The floor is yours. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Simi, and also other speakers and other participants who having here. I'm going to share screen. I also wanted to provide this to facilitate you. I hope it's visible. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm really delighted to be here today to share some thoughts on how AI, artificial intelligence, is reshaping the way as an educator we lead and learn in education. So basically, I'm as an educator. I've been like on 7 years working in this field, and I've seen how technology that actually keeps evolving like faster than we ever imagined, right? So I don't want to share the one of the picture here as the one of the intermezzo of the our topic today. I do believe my generations and your generations seen this one of the icon picture. It looked like a bit back bit. Some us might still remember with this iconic popular in the Microsoft Office. Yes, that's a Clippy. That a friendly little paper clip that always appeared in the under the corner on the right and the left side, right? I use this analogy like we use this on another alternative way to get some help, right? Like for example, when you try to type in something in the documents and that the Clippy I can say that would you like some help? At a time that the Clippy was probably more funny, showing some useful, humor, in a way. That was our maybe first glimpse of what the digital assistant could do at back that time. I want to fast forward today. As we know that the AI tools that can analyze the data and generates the ideas, translating the text, and even the supporting as teachers to designing or to creating some of the materials for our learning experiences. So I do believe AI in a really fast time after the pandemic has truly evolved from the paperclip helper to a powerful educational partner. But here's the key: while AI can process information faster than any of us, I know that it is something, I think the previous speaker, Farhan Sen, mentioned also, it cannot replace the human educations. I quite agree. And yeah, there's certain things that maybe it's not really fulfill what the teachers needs, right? So there's some like a limitation of the creativity or a moral guidance to the educators to bring every day that can be realistic, like in the we use that in the classroom. So I want to explore like how we as an educator, because I know this is something can be challenging, that for the teachers use AI wisely. I mean, like I'm in Indonesia. I know that most of the trends right now in the teenager schools, I facing those more students who are depend on this AI. Yeah, I know the schools are trying to, facing this tech savvy trending, and how we facing. So I going to the next part. So this is the one that I can say, another way. I can say this is another way, another traditional way to assess another indicators. You know that like what we traditional way we assess. We do tests, gradings, try to get some snapshot to see how the student progress in a single point in time. And AI, and this is something really good, like we can know it much deeper. We can track the patterns of learning, measures the progress over time, or provide a real-time feedback and so on. So I give you an example like here, these AI tools that can analyze how students approach problem solving. But here I can say this is one of that I'm actually once I did in one of my classroom when they do the group project, group assignment, with the presentations, with the paper, I asked them to, the checkbox to make sure everything it's all right. Like, are they originally creating the idea by themselves, or they try to use AI? This is actually make a good personalizing. I mean, like to giving another differences how we can adjust the level of the difficulties, like when we, let's say, like the practical way, after we heard their presentations, we understand how deep they know their presentation is. So this is something can be really fair for me, that with using kind of the indicators to know, are they using brainstorm ideas, are using structure ideas, refine or produce some contents and everything. So I think this is something a good important way that as an AI to helping the teachers to can get the focus, to get the focus. What's a good measurement to check their understanding. Yeah. Um, I know this is something, of course, must done be done carefully. I think this is something a good a picture of representing us as a teachers. So, like we always supporting learning, by AI. I think I also same agree, like from the previous Q&A. I also using AI sometimes when I try to make a scheme of work, when we make a lesson plan, it's using some prompt that make it easier for me. And I try to use the customizing, like the learning experience, to meet each student's pace. So to make it more a good, the more good pace to understand from the syllabus, let's say. I always know what they actually want to from, let's say, oh yeah, you use assessment from here to know how I can evaluate their performance, how can I give them, let's say the comments, for example. So to make it more perfect, if there's something I can make a mistake. So again, I can say that, yeah, we cannot depend on the AI. AI can help you, but you cannot like just duplicate everything, or you just believe to this pattern is to believe with this AI, because I know there's a lot of many applications. I cannot mention one by one, and I think this is something I can say. The role of AI can be approachable. I can say AI can, I can say more interesting, because when let's say I had this experience when I know that some of the people try to, plagiarizing, they don't know how to paraphrase it. So can I say like, okay, just use AI? I think that's not what the educator tried to give them some directions to them, but we are trying to educate them by assistance, like help to maintaining their academic settings. So we cannot like just say that more instant way or just make it easy way. Okay, just learn it from the AI. But we as a teacher try to use them that as a medium for brainstorming, restructuring, like what I used. I saw you the previous slide. So to make it clear and understandable with the AI. And I think also as an educators, like I also maybe here there's lots of the partners teachers here from Francis School. I always creating this ground rules to make it more fair. Like if they are sit and attending my lecturing class, there's some certain rules. Yes, we don't have really like no standard of the procedures of the what's something right, what's something wrong. But I can say the AI it's possible to use in certain circumstances. Like for example, like when they starting to create in a paper, an essay. But yeah, there's some the conditions like what I always do, like trying to here to assess to check their skills. Are you sure using their analytical thinking or using critical thinking or they're using the logical thinking? It's possible to check it out from that way. So I just got it from this. I in my comments like from here I do believe this is something a good sophisticated personalizations if we use AI wisely. And I'm starting to announce into this to the management team. I do believe this is one of the AI that can be possible to alternating them to how the styling or the teachers use the AI for certain like previously mentioned about gamifications or for the programming, for example. I think this is a good collaboration tools to facilitate learning experiences. Again, as a leader, of course, you have another great decision making for using the AI, and I can say AI also helping students and teachers both as these two uh, uh, like in the classroom to creating new ideas and approaches in the classroom. So yeah, that's the one I can say from in my point of view with the AI. And I think this is really, really interesting to know that making a great assessment continuously personalized and really insightful, and also helping the educators to focus less on the grading and more on growth to know and to recognize an AI. I think that's from me. I will stop share. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sam, for also bringing in that we need to guide the students on how to use AI and be honest about how much they have used. So thanks a lot about this presentation. It was really, really nice to hear from Indonesia perspective and how you're guiding the students in your school. Hiram, over to you for any questions, for any comments.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Sam, for this presentation. I know that because just last year I was in Indonesia. I was in Cirebon and also in the in Jakarta. And in that meeting, actually, we visited the Ministry of Education, and they have very big plans of reforms. There are two major reforms happening in the education in primary grade as well as secondary grades. Do you see any changes that are being brought on the ground with the help of these AI tools in Indonesia, or can you give some more specific examples what is happening on the ground in Indonesian context so that we can get a glimpse of that?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Well, I rarely follow the updates from the government, what they actually try to help, because they always sometimes give it a socializations through the seminar or webinar online. What I remember from the government, it started to to make people aware with the AI, especially we know in the contrast that not all same quality of educations from this we live in urban cities and those who are in the rural areas. Now they are trying to facilitate it with the devices first, and then they also facilitating through the internet and then etc. And now they are also want to collaborating with another channels like supportive partners that it can be possible to enhancing their another, I can say, the IoT, the Internet of Things. That's another way to recognizing those from the elementary and secondary school. Then the practical one that I remember, in the way how this with the AI that powered the learning teachings activities, the students who need support. They are using the timetabling. You know that kind of there are certain many options. But what I know from the one of the private schools started to making some AI with the robots, some of the devices, with a small coding system that it's provided. But it's just only like trial, like some of the temporary experimental for the school. But again, that the school currently is in not all the school that currently try to engage with the some of a quality of uh, the AI itself, like how the educators use the AI for helping the school management, like administrative stuff, like how the let's say the teachers using the privacy and the data protections, and then the student informations, like the creating some the privacy program. So yeah, that's that one of the goal that I remember. For It's a long-term goal that I believe that they are through socializing the model ethics, I call it of ethics, of using the AI to support the educators and also the students.
Thank you. Thank you for giving that insights. Yes, Simran, please continue.
Thank you, Viram, and thanks again, Mr. Sam. Before we move to the next speaker, I would want to invite my mentor, my research director and co-founder, all these brilliant speakers in Finland during our 13th symposium. So Shireen, over to you. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. So what a wonderful presentation session is going on, and I have been enjoying it thoroughly. Now I'm here to give you a connect between these presentations and something that we have for all of you coming up soon. So allow me to share my screen. And now I will take you, from the problems to the positivity and the possibilities. Because here, when I was listening to everybody's presentation, I really liked the possibilities that we are discussing and the positivity that we want to bring in. And we are not concentrating on AI as a problem. So that's a wonderful mood. And to continue that mood, I will just share my screen and I will take you to the 13th International Symposium. So the 13th International Symposium on Creative Education, we are going to host it from May 3rd to May 8th. And as you can see, the main theme of this year is reimagining learning, AI, creativity, and the future of education. What an apt topic for this year, and what an apt discussion is going on right now here. So I'm sure those who are listening to this webinar, those who are participating in this webinar, I'm going to see all of you in Finland for this symposium. So let me give you a glimpse of it. First thing I would like to say that We are hosting it for the 13th time. So I'm really proud of my team and their efforts that we could successfully host 12 international symposium already. And we are going to host this 13th International Symposium in collaboration with LUT University, Lapinranta University of Technology, and University of Uvascula. So this is going to be academician studded event, like they call it, like star studded event. So it will be like the academic star studded event in Finland. And you all are welcome to send your abstracts. And the call for papers are already open. And the theme of the symposium, as you know, is very close to our heart and close to our research. There are various participation options that we have here for all of you. Of course, you can go to our website and take a closer look at it, but I would mention it at least as some basic information. So option A is residential training program with paper presentation or conducting workshop. So what is residential training program? So basically, when we started designing this conference, like way back 12 years ago, we understood that people are very interested to see the schools in Finland when they come to Finland from far off places. And I'm not kidding, but we always had people from Latin America, like Chile and Ecuador and Peru and Mexico, and also from Japan and China and Russia. So we are all over, and that's why people want to come here and they want to go to the schools. So we have started this program where we give them like a deep immersion in the Finnish education system. And for 3 days, they go to various schools, they see the culture, they see the nature. And then for 2 days, we are totally into the conference, paper presentations and workshops. So this option is like where you want to participate in the residential program with your paper presentation, or you can also conduct a workshop of 60 minutes. So paper presentation is, as you know, it's 20 minutes thing, and workshop is something like you want people really to participate in your activities, and that is the workshop that you will be able to conduct. But of course, paper presentation or conducting workshop is not a mandatory thing, and that's how we have our option B, where you can still participate as an audience without presenting any paper or workshop. Then option C is like you are very focused and you just want to present a paper. Then of course you are welcome to join us in the conference days, that 7th and 8th May. So where you can present your paper or you can conduct a workshop also. Again, option D is, of course, you can participate as an audience without presenting any paper or conducting any workshop. And then there is, we cannot now get away from virtual conferences. So we also have virtual conference, a hybrid option where people from faraway places, they would like to come and enjoy this as an audience. So we encourage people also to participate here because they get really here to people from various backgrounds and as well as various countries. So normally we get people from more than 20 to 30 countries who represent their countries in our conference. So you are welcome to join us. More information you will find in this link. I would request my colleagues to put the link in the chat box. I will just give you a quick glimpse about the topics that we have, like the subtopics for the papers. So the topics are like reimagining classrooms with AI, smarter, creative, and learner-centered, human plus machine, creativity and emotional intelligence in the age of AI, including futures, AI for equity, access, and personalized learning, gamified futures, AI play and the joy of discovery, the empowered educator, teachers as designers in AI enhanced learning, creativity meets code, integrating AI in arts, music, and design thinking, beyond exams, real-time feedback and creative assessment through AI. We just now discussed something about assessment and how it can be personalized. So here is the topic about that. AI for All, Reimagining Special Education and Universal Design for Learning, Well-being in the Digital Age, Supporting Educators and Learners with AI, Future-Ready Schools, AI Labs, Robotics, and Student Innovation Hubs. You have to submit your abstract, and when you go here and you click this button, Submit Abstract, it takes you to the registration form. And in that same registration form, we have the possibility to embed your abstract. And we get it here, and then we send you the reply, like whether it is accepted, rejected, whatever the result is. So thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to see you all here in Finland. Simran, over to you.
Thank you so much, Shireen. And one more thing I just want to add is, like Shireen said, star-studded event. We actually have Educator Star-studded event, which is our CCE Finland Awards. And trust me, you will get a feel of Oscar, but in an education realm of things. So please do visit our CCE Awards page. Please do nominate yourself. Yes, let's be realistic. If we don't announce our work and appreciate our work, who else will? So please nominate your work in innovation and different categories. We have over 25 categories for individual and school nominations. So while you're there, please do visit our awards page as well. And these awards are held in Finland. But for these awards, one condition is that we want to see you in Finland to accept this award. So please nominate yourself and your teams and your colleagues. And with that, I thank Shireen for this informative session on 13 Symposium. And we move to our next speaker, Ms. Kavleen. Ms. Kavleen, kindly introduce yourself and share your PPT. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Simran, and thank you, CCE. I'm Kavleen Kaur, founder director of Credo Learnings. I straddle the work of computer science by virtue of my long association with Tata Consultancy Services. And now I also work in education. We take workshops in computational thinking and AI for both teachers and students. And I'm going to share my presentation now. I hope it is visible to all.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So good evening, everybody. Again, I am based in Delhi, so it's a wonderful evening here. And today we are discussing a very crucial topic. What does it mean to be a leader now that AI is everywhere? And this quote by Michael Fullan and his colleagues actually sums it up very nicely. AI is full of power, danger, and maybe, just maybe, a source of our human salvation, right? So it is this incredible mix of immense power and potential perils, all rolled up into one single package. My previous esteemed speakers have talked about all the possibilities which are there with AI, but we are also aware of the pitfalls. I'm not going to go in detail about the pitfalls, but I want to just present a kind of a comparison of how the immense power comes with a bit of perils and where we have to be very careful about that. And this mixed bag makes it very essential that the leaders do a kind of a balancing act. They are aware of the promises that AI brings to them and their teams, but are also aware of the potential pitfalls. So that means all leaders, all school leaders now have to do this constant balancing act between the promise of AI and the perils of AI. Let us take a look at some examples here. We have talked about automation. We know that AI can really help automate things and save time for all the leaders and the teachers. Our previous speakers have also talked about it. But the immense number of tools, options, applications, models available also give rise to something known as the initiative fatigue, which is that we all get overwhelmed. I'm sure who all are working in the domain of AI, researching the various options, they are overwhelmed by the sheer possibility, the choices available out there, and which tool to bring into the implementation. And because of this fatigue, what develops is a kind of a resistance to change, a kind of a resistance to accepting AI. And we are seeing a lot of this happening in schools all over the world. The teachers, they see some value in AI, but there is so much of research and work required to adapt that they are, just giving it up. Then moving on to the next example. So AI can literally personalize learning for each and every learner out there, working at their own pace. And this is I think one of the biggest advantage of AI for students. They can learn anywhere at their own pace in the language that they prefer. So that is definitely a boon. But on the other hand, we also have the same tools which are helping with personalized learning. They also have some inherent biases built into them. And that's very dangerous, especially for students, because they are in a very, very impressionable stage. So the leaders have to be aware of these biases and prevent them from, these biases being exposed to the students in their learning. And then the second point is that we know that everybody doesn't have the same kind of access to these technologies. AI, the imprint of AI is definitely spreading, but so is the digital divide. So it is ever increasing, and people who are most at risk are actually the ones who may need it the most, right? So people who already have all the resources, they have the teachers, they have good schools, and they also have AI. On the other hand, people in the third world countries or still, the rural areas, they are the ones who need it most, but they don't have access to this. So this digital divide is a real thing. And reaching those people, that last mile with the personalized education, is one of the key tasks for all educators and the leaders in the world of AI. Then moving on to the last example, and I think this really focuses on the main issue that we have AI which can crunch large amounts of data. It can bring up insights for all of us to see. It lets the leader find out if there are going to be some problems in the near future and devise strategies to address all those problems. And the teachers can also use it to do assessments and create reports. So there's a big time saving with AI. It's efficient, and I think the efficiency of AI is beyond question. Now it is much more efficient than what humans can ever achieve. But the other side is that how many schools are actually ready for implementing that kind of efficiency? Do they have the infrastructure? Do they have the right capacity to use the tools? And most important, do they have the right trainings, the leaders and also the teachers? Do they have the right trainings to use these tools efficiently, effectively, and without biases? So this brings us to these three examples that I have taken. There are, of course, several other examples that we can quote here to see the promise versus the potential pitfalls of AI. And these three examples show that, the leaders are aware of the benefits of AI, but they are also aware of the potential pitfalls. And therefore, they have to do all this balancing act always. So in my workshops that I take with teachers and school leaders, and also the research I have analyzed across the countries, we see that the technology is the same. Technology is similar. The tools may be similar, but the outcomes are very different. So the same tools deployed at two different places may have exactly the opposite results. And why is that so? The reason is leadership. So places where there have been successful implementations, they were ably guided by the right leadership. And the other places, everybody was struggling right from strategy, planning, design, implementation, everything. So it is not the tool, the technology which is important, but the right leadership is very, very crucial to get the benefit out of AI and to remove the potential perils that it has. So leadership is becoming all the more important now that AI is there. I speak with school leaders and teachers, and we hear all these apprehensions that, the educators are going to be invaluable. AI will replace everybody. But, I always tell that, going forward with the rise of AI, effective leadership, effective teaching, effective educators are going to be more and more essential. And leadership in the times of AI is not about managing technology at all, right? We always think that, which is the tool we should use, how we should deploy it. So all those are the key key discussions that we do, which are the use cases that we should implement. But I think more than managing technology, leadership in the AI age is about finding new ways of managing people, because everyone is confused here, especially the teachers, and the students, of course, are not using it in the right way they should. So, the leader's role becomes all the more important in guiding their teams, guiding the teachers, the parents, and also the students. So leadership is all about now leading people in this world of AI. And research shows that in this world of AI, being an ambidextrous leader is the way to achieving success with AI. And when we talk about this leader, they demonstrate a behavior which is a mix of open leadership and the closing behaviors. So they are aware that innovation, creativity is very, very essential. They are open to their teams experimenting with AI. They are open to errors happening on the learning journey, but they are also keeping their eye on the final goal. They are keeping an eye on the day-to-day task. They are keeping an eye on the compliance to various things. They are keeping an eye on biases not creeping into their curriculum or, even in their data analysis. So it's a mix of transformational leadership and digital instructional leadership. And that is the key here. A leader cannot just focus on one particular aspect of AI, but has to be aware of both the immense creativity, the efficiency, the ability of AI, but also being aware that, there is a chance of being carried away with AI and spending too much time on AI, trusting it too much, or using it for use cases which is where it is not really the right choice. We all have been there. When a new tool comes, we experiment with it, we get carried away with it, and we try to extract some usage out of it, but then we realize that we have spent 2 hours already and don't have anything to show for it. So it's very real. That danger is very real, and these ambidextrous leaders, they have mastered the art of this balancing this creativity and efficiency with achieving the goals. And research also shows, we've already talked about the definition of this. Research also shows that an ambidextrous leader has these two traits. So, leading in the time of AI is not so much about what the leader is doing, but rather what they are. What are the traits that they have? How are they leading their teams? And these two aspects are very, very critical. When we talk about the first aspect, which is proactive agility, so here the leaders are anticipating change, and they are not just resisting it, they are going forward, embracing the change, anticipating it, getting ready for it, and being agile in implementing all the required changes in their own style of leading and also how their teams work. So that is one aspect of an ambidextrous leader who can drive a successful AI implementation. The other part is being empathetic. And empathy here means being able to take the perspectives of others, being able to understand the needs of their teachers, being able to understand the needs of their students. So rather than forcing an AI model or a tool on their team of teachers, these leaders take everybody into consensus, understands what are the problems, the main areas that the teachers are struggling with, and then identifying the right tools along with the teachers rather than, just deciding a tool and bringing it into the entire ecosystem. So they take perspective of their teams and then take decisions. And empathy also encompasses various things like, is the AI tool that I'm using, is it suitable? Is it introducing any biases in my ecosystem? Is it suitable to be used by everybody? Is the data going to be protected? Data privacy is ensured. So all these things are part of being a leader with empathy. And together, these two elements, of course, there are few more supporting traits that such leaders should have, but these are the two key traits. And together, they create something which is known as a digital mindset. And this is about digital mindset is about a leader being able to perceive what technology is, how to use it, and how to do this digital transformation in an effective way. So they perceive and act on the technology in the right way. So it is very important that for successful implementation of AI in any ecosystem, the leaders have a digital mindset. And it's very essential for all leaders to develop this mindset now that AI is there. There is no doubt. I think the debate that whether AI is okay or not, it should be there or not, we are beyond that stage. It is there. Everybody is using it. The students are using it at their homes. So every leader, all the teachers have to be prepared for this. In my workshop, I always say that, teachers have to be one step ahead from the students in understanding AI, because only then they can guide the students in the right usage of AI. The students have, the tools at their disposal, and they learn much faster than us adults. So it is very essential for all the leaders and teachers to develop this understanding, a deep understanding of AI, and understand both the promises and the pitfalls, and guide the students in using AI in the right way. And also, not everything is conducive to AI being used, right? And that brings us to another set of responsibilities that a leader has to now do. Earlier, we used to have these standard set
Praveen,
of
can you sum up in
responsibilities.
next 2 minutes, please?
Yes, Simran?
I said, can you please sum it up in next 1 minute?
Yes. This is the second last slide. So they have to do these various responsibilities. We have already talked about it. Ethical leadership, managing the change and resistance from their teams. We have talked about initiative fatigue, and the leaders have to guide their teachers in doing that. And then they also have to ensure that there is no over reliance on AI. They balance the usage of AI with the context of their own ecosystem. So, the discussion has come full circle, and we all, this quote is that we have over reliance on machines, and we have underdeveloped social intelligence. But I think whatever the AI cannot do, whatever cannot be automated, is something which has more value now, which is more valuable. And we are talking about genuine creativity, empathy, moral judgment, and taking responsibility. So all these things are important. And going forward, a human-centered facilitator would be more important. A facilitator who is human-centered, but also technology ready. So technology ready, human-centered leadership is the way to go forward. So I leave you with this quote to ponder on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kavleen. And thank you for introducing yourself with your location, that you're in Delhi. Our team is in Delhi next month for DIDEC. So we are really hoping that we see you and we meet you and we talk more about synergies that we can build together. Thank you for this great presentation and highlighting different scenarios. It was so nice to see different scenarios, and I like the double-edged sword. So that was really good. Hiram, over to you for any questions or any comments.
I think it will be a good idea that we can go to the next, because I'm just absorbing the things what has been told. Thank you very much for the good presentation, and we'll have the combined question for the Dr. Sadi and
sounds perfect.
Ms. Kaur. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Hiram. So Dr. Sadi, you have been waiting very patiently for your turn. He is joining us from Mexico, and he has been very bubbly and energetic and joined the first to this meeting. So Dr. Sadi, over to you, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. And I try to speak the best and fast way possible to understanding and to don't take too a long time. Well, I'm a user from analog, digitalizing, and now the AI processor. No, well, in my words, I put it into this, and I apologize to read it, because if I don't do that, I talking and talking and talking and talking, and I'm a radio man, and I cannot stop talking. And please understand me. Creative or generative AI and its use in teaching media and transmedia production. Well, an artificial intelligence, an algorithm human tool, not self-aware. Well, when I, whoops, sorry. When we're talking about artificial intelligence, we must be careful. It's a growing field that we can currently loosely define as autopoietic system, but we should view them as a high-speed, algorithmically organized information counters, reorganizers, and representation of existing human knowledge. What I'm trying to say is that humans generate algorithms for databases. They are and were generated by human knowledge. Their reuse in AI occurs according to the structure predefined by their creators, seeking to facilitate based on end position or values, their own criteria as programmers, by making the use of human tools more effective for the public. The Mexican EA doesn't exist, but exists the American EA. From there, we can start by saying the AI is a human intelligence and knowledge artificial manipulated by or without human interaction, is not self-aware, much less autonomous. We understand AI as a show in science fiction and fantasy. It's a path that has taught us in preponderance infinite potential and automation from books and movies. We have been making a mistake and a basic error. The AI is creative, and we don't know, remember, that it's created for the human imagination. What we call AI is an automated software computer that can cite texts in response to questions posed by a user based on knowledge of problems solved by other human beings and arranged in an efficient manner. In literature, they refer to prompts, or the human generates commands used to establish the rules for using the tool. Therefore, shifting attention to this conceptual and ethical precision, AI doesn't not create something out of nothing, as classic Greek philosophy establishes. Whether from a prompt or commands in words, drawing photos, music, painting ideas, or human structures, the efficiency is provided by databases of humans who have filled intelligence with their talent. Thinking this way, we have a database of techniques and other types of digitalized cultural tools with mathematical and cybernetic language that make it possible for untrained human or those without much knowledge in certain areas, like I love music, but I'm not musician, and construct, recreate, imitate, and model cultural objects with qualities similar to those copied and rearranged under human command and the AI algorithm. Like my other colleagues, I think, therefore, we can speak of a nonlinear process that obeys pre-established logic of pre-existing knowledge only accommodate in random but limited ways to the content itself that was uploaded to the AI and by whom it was uploaded. The use of this tool supports education and creativity. It's not replace it. There are conceptual and abstract shortcuts for developing new ideas from existing ones. Constructivism, so to speak, artificial, but in which human and machine interact jointly under the rules of the creator of the algorithm and its limitations and advantages. We can talk about mediatizations, which is the use of the mediating tool, the AI, computer, with the human machine language, sync, medium, towards a message code to obtain a satisfactory product according to the parameters pre-established by the user and the algorithm. Some product, image, video, etc. I don't into the AI music and voiceover production. We do that in the audition, and we moldate the instructions to do music and voice in efficient ways to manage better than the old tape. But the integrate process with cutting-edge models is the most advanced system currently used end-to-end models that simplify the process, directly linear the mapping text of audio with superior quality thanks to the large-scale models trained with massive amounts of data. Why does it sound so human? Naturalist is achieved because neural networks not only learn to pronounce words, but also capture prosody, emotions, accents, and acoustic micro details, such as fine aspiration like from training data, which consist of thousands of hours of human voice audio and their corresponding transcriptions. In other words, AI requires humans to create the characteristic of speech semiotics, paralinguistic, extralinguistic denotations and connotations, among many other cadences, semicadences, and anticadences of the language, depending on the language being used. Application. This technology is used in virtual assistants, Siri, Alexa, audiobooks, movie dubbing, accessible tools for people with visual or speech disabilities and content creation. In the same way, in the music, we converting instructions into music using artificial intelligence is a fascinating field as a music generation. By the way, in Mexico, let me say goodbye, my son. Goodbye, son. And the copyright, the indautor says, this is not AI, this is not from humans, is not, the words must be of human creation with the characteristic and originality as an expression of individuality of his author and his personality. But my God, we do the AI. When I do music, I have a grand view, input data, this data, the computer knowledge, and provide me to analyze prompts to identify the concept like genre, rock, classic, electronic, but this is the trick. When I want to do Mexican music, I have problems because they don't have mariachi into the prompt. This is a certain time to say. Instrumentation, piano, electric guitar, orchestra, emotion mode, happy, sad, epic, strong, powerful, structural elements, fast with the violin solo in 44 time. This is the central phases, no? The diffusion models, the language models approach, we use in different ways. Software synthesis is like GarageBand. I use Mac. The GarageBand is free, and I can use with the code of musicians. My wife is a violinist, and I learned some of that kind of language, and I can do with a batterist AI, with a guitarist AI, and make songs. For what? For my students can do spots, can do the music of the ambientation for a story tale or a spot commercial or anything they want. Even a waltz, even music of rock. And these applications is like that. Assisted compositions, tools for musicians seeking inspiration of help creating soundtracks. Soundtrack for content, generation of royalty-free music for YouTube videos, podcasts, or indie video games. I do my own songs. I tell you about it. Music education, creation of examples for students, interact jamming, playing alongside the AI and response in the real time. This is the good. The bad and the ugly is the things that say people like I adore Noam Chomsky, and I tell you, we are carefully. We take the ethics of AI and pronounce, I do this with AI. I will do this with this kind of knowledge. In science, we know if APA, Chicago, or where it comes from the knowledge, but the applications doesn't do. You just, oh, you choose the voice. Oh yes, you choose the guitar, the whatever you want. But don't tell me, oh, this is the voice of Jonger Vonger Funger, or the Simi Ballini voice who sings very beautiful, and I put her voice in my song. And or what is the compensation that they regret? And well, therefore, should use AI, yes, but with our own ethics and philosophies. If possible, we should create our own AI and abandon our dependence of trading countries which produce knowledge products based on cost-benefit considerations and implement public and free versions of AI with the paradigms from and attitudes of each cultures and segment of the human reality based on in social conventions. Since we continue to live in a colonialism or capitalism that no longer only governments knowledge and its generation and organizations, but also governs the creativity of human beings. Although others may argue that it also liberates and gives the opportunity to those who wish to create their own creation, like me, a door with a window to exploit their human creativity, but who have not had access to this development or lack the talent to do so. The generative or creative AI in transmedia and digital production is useful and facilitates process. We must adhere to the ethical use of the resource. We must always expose the source and explain the methodology of the construction and processing process of the media and transmedia products we use. It's a tool created by humans and it can be used for a good or evil. Once again, the answer lies in the field of philosophy and ethics. Humans are the creative ones. The tool is an aid to their development, not the key. In the meantime, let us establish clear, ethical, and precise rules for how we produce everything from online content to the scientific publications, and of course, in education. This is in a pursuit of ethical solvency and a plural, democratic, and cultural paradigmatic position that respects and guarantees the healthy construction of the human-machine knowledge products. Well, in conclusion, as an example of that kind of interactions, I try to be poetry and rock star roller and take my lyrics. I use the top media AI. I paid some dollars and make songs for you. One of these is in English, one is in Spanish, another in Finnish. No, how do you say finesse? Or your language in Finland? In
Yeah,
Finland?
Finnish. Yeah, Finnish.
Finnish,
You're right.
in Finnish,
Yeah.
and too much more in my YouTube channel. You can also take. I have a Arabic songs and for Palestinians and everything you want. Everyone can check the quotes of everything I say, and I instead you to use them because I'm one who thinks in another time, oh no, the AI is only robbery for the people. But no, it's the people pay it to talk about. I voice over some who in a factory in Mexico called Bimbo pay me to talk about his oh, hello, how are you? I'm your friend and I tell you how to do the next promotion. And a kind of puppet talk like me. It's natural. It's I will pay that. The AI is the same thing, but much better than me. And
So,
and
Dr. Sadi, thank you very much for this presentation.
and thank you very much for the time
Can you hear me?
talk.
Yes, Simran, we can hear you. Simran, I guess your microphone is down. But I think, sir, Dr. Sadi, please conclude your last statement. You are about to conclude your last statement. Yes, please continue.
Okay. I think I finished my time.
Okay, good. Okay, perfect.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you so
Sadi,
much.
for this wonderful and energetic presentation. And you were the last of the speaker, and bringing this energy on the forum is really, really remarkable. And I'm really, really looking forward to all the 4 speakers and you, Dr. Sadi, to come to Finland and present this to our audience and such remarkable things that we can do with AI. I would invite Mr. Hiram to conclude this session, and we say goodbye to our audiences and thank them for their time. Hiram, over to you.
Thank you. And maybe I will have a quick questions which I have also got on the social media, but also I have my personal question to Mrs. Kaulin Kaur as well as Dr. Sadi. So first to Dr. Sadi, nowadays actually because you gave a different perspective on the piracy, on the point that it is a kind of a combination of a ruthless copying mechanism, but also you can put the bringing more creativity in that part. My question here is that the same thing, and you also given it in the various citations. Nowadays, people are using those citations quite often, and you put everything into AI engine, and AI engine given even what you have written original, authentic, still AI is giving it is like AI generated content. So where we are heading, we are having glasses where we can see that, okay, pirated text is coming first and you yourself are getting biased first. So are we creating biases for ourselves first by using these tools?
Yes, well, I take a course of how to use the AI because I use digital time tools, and my students need songs to make. Well, I'm teacher from communication. I do commercials, I do programs, I do everything like that, and my students go to YouTube to download sounds, and I said, no, 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 this is not good. Making your own. How I make it? I don't have a Mac. Well, we have $8. No, I paid you. I paid you. Use it. And with this tool, I made so many songs to my students. And well, in Mexico, the resources to education are limited, and one as a teacher make the impossible to a great effort to our students receive the knowledge, and we want to they create their own kind of knowledge. If he can create their own music, their own kind of speech, is tremendous. I love the AI for this. Give me the best of the best, but I am the director. Trust. Check, 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 check. And if you listen the songs, well, the views are some crazy, because I'm a crazy person. But well, the lyrics are crazy. But in that way, Oppenheimer says the weirdos of these days are the genius of future, and I believe that. I believe that my students, 18 years old, 20 years old, 21 years old, I have 47, they can make better things with the AI that can I do with my hands in all my life, because I have my fingers too old yet. But the intelligence, the artificial intelligence, or the products that they can do with that are eternal, and always sounds good. My voice doesn't sound like when I was young, and the AI let me have the voice of a soprano, a girl, or a boy, or a big tenor, or contratenor. But it's beautiful. Well, this is the kind of stuff I teach in my classroom.
That would be really interesting to watch your one of the lectures. Be
Thank you very much.
experiencing. Thank you, thank you. I think before I ask the question to Mrs. Kaur, Ali Amhal would like to ask the question. Let's give the floor to Mr. Ali. Ali, can you please unmute yourself and ask the question?
Can you hear me?
Yes, very
Yes, of
much.
course.
Yes, very much. Yeah.
All right. So my name is Ali. My family name is Amhal. I'm from Morocco. I've been teaching English for around 16 or 17 years. And now I'm working as an ELT supervisor and inspector as well. Thank you for these insightful presentations. This is amazing, talking about AI. which has invaded, and technology, AI has invaded our life in general, including education, including our schools and classrooms. The question I have to both presenters is, don't you think that classrooms are a space where we have to establish more human-based social connections, rather than giving the floor to machines, to AI, to technology, which technology is being used everywhere by students, by kids, by adults. It is technology and AI. It is being used everywhere. So don't you think that we should have the classroom for more connection between humans, exclusively human? Yeah, I agree that we can use AI for to bring to facilitate the process of teaching and learning. That's my question. Thank you.
I have an answer quickly.
Yes,
My
please.
students, I show letters, they read, I explain, they wrote, and then I explain how to use the computer. If no have nothing here, nothing there works.
You are right. Perfect. Perfect. I think that's the part. So that's why you said you are a director. You can decide what to take in and not to take out. You need to have a plan in your mind first before it goes there. Very good. I think this question also will continue to Mrs. Kaur, but also there is an additional question we have from Lesotho, South African area, Rama Ketheneng, and she's asking the question. We closely work with the research area with her there. So she's asking to Colin that how to influence the ambidextrous leader if the leaders are the ones resisting AI.
Oh, yes, wonderful
Something
question.
which is very deep, actually. Maybe you
Yes.
can ask both the questions in the context of the classrooms,
Yes.
which was asked earlier, your put, and this question. Thank you.
So I'll answer the second question first, that yes, there are several leaders who are wary of AI, who's resistant to any change. And because first of all, they have this fear that AI would replace them, their power would reduce, or there could be a number of other reasons. And I think one way is to address this is to start with their pain areas, start with the areas that are inefficient, start with the areas where they are facing a lot of problems. I am sure that all leaders have a big list of problem areas. So, if we give them the floor, that come up with the areas that you want to optimize, and then we show them how AI can help them there is a chance that they would migrate towards accepting AI. So, and this is not how it happens. Normally the AI companies go and say that this is our tool, this is what it does, and please take it. So then the leaders resist because they may not be wanting those features. So we have the entire marketing of AI done wrong, implementation done wrong. We take a tool and then we somehow try to fit it into the ecosystem. It should be the other way around. We should first identify the needs of a leader and then identify which AI is actually going to help them. And I'm sure if we follow this path, the leaders would be open to accepting AI much more strongly, because everybody wants a solution to their core problems, right? So I hope that makes sense here. Of course, there are some people who definitely are anti-technology, anti-change, and they are. I think with due course of time, they will themselves see that their path is not right. But most of the leaders can be brought around to accepting AI once they see the benefits of it. So that is the answer to question number 2. And the first question, of course, that is again very, very critical. Schools are the areas where students learn not just the subjects, but they develop their characters, they develop their core traits, their skills, everything which makes them human. So they learn in schools. And if we outsource the entire learning process to AI, those skills may not form. And therefore, the teachers are again very, very crucial to this entire system of education. Teachers cannot be replaced. No AI is going to replace the teachers, right? In fact, the teachers become all the more important. But on the other hand, we also know that the teachers cannot give personal attention to each and every student. And that is where AI can definitely help. But of course, after proper configuration and guidance by the teachers, by the leaders of the education system. And that is why in my presentation also I said that the teachers have to be trained first. The leaders have to be trained first so that they can rightly guide the students. So I hope I'm able to answer these two questions.
Thank you. It is. I think you sum up also well what we discussed in brief. Maybe one more point which was been mentioned, and that's a long answer. But I think we will discuss that as a part of the follow-up seminar what we have. So the question is about how to make the traditionalist in the school to move towards innovators. So when I presented the model of profiling for the existing teachers, we have something called as AI-enabled school programs, where we, as most of the speakers said, that the tools are not important, but how we approach towards tools by taking the need, and more importantly, AI is an irreversible process. You can introduce AI late, it's okay, but once you introduce, you can't take it away. So you can't ask after some time saying, okay, we can police and say, oh, no, you can't use the AI. It's not possible. Even though you put it in a school, they will use it at home, which is perfectly fine for them, and which you can't have control. So what is the solution? So solution should be the curriculum should be compliant with the AI needed, as we discussed that the existing Bloom's requirement are providing understanding and remembering. The machines can do better remembering and understanding with summarization and large language model better than human beings. What is more critical? What is human skills are analyzing, decision making, creativity, applications. So these are the endless opportunity with large language model will have limitations at some point of time. That's why our current abilities as a teachers, we are using only as a machines. The idea is that, okay, with AI in the part, AI will make teachers more human so that we can use better qualities of the human being. So having said this, I think this was a main point that we concentrate on. I really appreciate the very active conversation. We crossed more than 20 minutes, but all the audience and everyone is still here. And we can see the comments coming from the social media channel as well. I really am super amazed. Thank you very much for all the speakers. I really appreciate it. And let's be in touch. This is a great platform for all of us, and we always keep this open. And we have a lot of research work happening in this area. So please come forward to contribute your thoughts and ideas to this forward. Thank you very much, Simran, for making this active collaboration for all of us.
Thank you so much, Hiram. And thank you to all my speakers. I'm like taking so many screenshots with all the cameras on. Thank you so much for your time, for your insights, and for your energy and enthusiasm. And we brought this whole webinar in such a short time. So thank you very much. And thank you to our backend team. They're all energetic and bubbly. I wouldn't be surprised if I tell them we can have a quick meeting and they'll say yes. So thank you so much, CCE team back there. And I'm sure there is so much audience of each one of these schools, institutions watching us. Thank you very much. Thank you to all our subscribers. And we look forward to seeing you on 13 Symposium and having you on the award gala night. Thank you again. My heart is full of gratitude. And let the AI be there, but nothing is taking the human touch and the empathy and the love. So on this note, I leave you with lots of love. Have a good night or a good afternoon, wherever you are, until we see you again. God bless. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Good morning here.
Good morning. Yeah.
Thank you very much.